Dual wielding technology is a tier 2 arsenal tech that will contain the Harmpack. So when you research this, you can make it out of Protolathe or a Sec Fab. It is called the Harmpack. Obviously, as I just mentioned, it costs 20 steel, 10 plastic, 5 plasma, 5 gold. So it's not incredibly expensive. If you shift click it, it'll say now you can reload, punch, and eat snacks simultaneously. And when you equip it, it just goes on your back like so. If you look down here at the bottom of your toolbar, you will see you have 4 hands. You can do X to cycle right, Shift X to cycle left. And yes, this is just like having 2 extra hands. Primary examples I can think of this being incredibly useful is if you're using something like a WT550, you can have 3 extra hands. Yeah, you're losing a backpack slot, but you could theoretically just carry a backpack if you wanted, and you're gaining an extra hand slot out of that. So you're essentially adding a whole, like, you'll essentially have 3 hands and still have your storage. Of course, you can still slip or get stunned and drop everything. So there's negatives there. It's not like exclusively a benefit, but if you're a syndicate, you can guarantee you never get slipped again, and you could definitely avoid stuns if you buy the right equipment. So it's really about utilizing your kit, but I don't think they're just inherently like, oh, I have 4 hands, I win every scenario, especially since nookies can't get their hands on this. Box have new markings ranging from tails. They now have the option of big, medium, and short. Medium's a default, big gives you a little extra curl, and short just shortens it in general. There are new tattoos, and there are also new hair options, which you can find in the basic appearance section. So Vox are eating good once more. Chaplains can now choose a new holy book to spawn with. This is really just for roleplay purposes, and they have various themes, as you can see here. You can select this in the loadout section before you join as a chaplain. The reduced motion and visual effects will now actually affect flashes directly. Instead of having the nauseating spinning circle effect like before, you'll now just fade to black and unfade to black. The Sec Tech now features 6 bolas inside, so now bolas are technically and officially security gear. There are now animations for taking stamina damage, which is representative of this usual blue flash. Of course, that was always a thing. Now when you're low stamina, or below 50%, you start shaking, and when you actually get stunned, or get closer to stun, you'll shake more, and there will be this like dazed cartoon effect above your head when you're stunned, and you'll still shake around. So now it is clear when somebody is stunned and getting unstunned. They do also ramp down a little bit in their immunity, so once they are done shaking, you can then stun them again. So this is really, really nice for those who use stun tools often, aka security, or people who steal stun weapons. Mosins will now actually do 12 piercing damage a hit, and you must have the Mosin wielded in order to actually melee, and as said, it does 12 piercing, so it's not the greatest melee weapon on the planet, but for how cheap it is, you could do like a shot and then try to do a melee, but you're not exactly going to be doing like top tier DPS. They kind of share the same cooldown, so don't expect to like melee and shoot at the same time. Can't really do that. The Syndicate Uplink has had a UI uplift. The TC button to purchase things is now much more clear of what you're actually buying. It's within the literal icon of the item itself, so there should be less confusion overall of what you're purchasing. I know that's been a complaint over time, and it's nice to see it changed. Janitors now have access to a wire brush and the janitor purple. All you do is with the wire brush is you walk up to a rusted wall and you left click it, so now janitors don't also have to procure welding tools and masks or sign up to engineers to remove the rust off walls. There is now a proper way to clean it, and it makes a nice little sound effect to let you know it has succeeded. It also specifically says this item can be used for brushing, and the item itself doesn't really do any damage, so don't expect this to be like a top tier melee weapon. The spray painter now actually uses compressed paint as an ammo to insert into it, and the spray painter itself can now actually paint things like canisters, crates, and even put down decals. And due to the fact you can paint decals now, you can actually snap them to tiles, so you would actually have the ability to repaint rooms after decals have been lost. This has been something people have wanted for a pretty long time, and it is awesome to see it finally be a thing. Moproaches are literally mop-wielding, living moth roaches. They have mop shoes, and as far as I'm aware, they can now spawn randomly, and they are basically a moth roach Janny bot. They clean really quickly. You can even wear it on your head and deploy it whenever you want if you can actually manage to get your hands on it. So janitors can literally walk around with a living mop on them. Objects like basketballs can now be caught when thrown, and this just adds great roleplay potential / ability for certain games to be actually had now. We'll now try to mimic things said near them, and Polly the Parrot, the CE's pet, actually has an engineering radio, so they might actually end up mimicking something on the radio. I don't know the exact chances of them like mimicking things or what they'll end up mimicking, but this was a popular feature and request from Space Station 13. So expect to see Polly say the word Singulus on the engineering radio at some point in the near future in a server near you. And also, just to further clarify things, I know I haven't actually managed to get them to speak. I don't know how often they do it, but they do seemingly retain messages at random. I said hi twice and hello once, and they retained the memory of hello, so theoretically, they should be able to repeat that at any time. I just, for whatever reason, they're just not saying it. I don't know how long I want to spend sitting here trying to get them to say it. Firelocks will now actually properly close upon having an issue with spacing. Before, they would sometimes like lag, or I'm not even entirely sure what the reason was. They would close too late and actually like space the area near them, but we can see that no pressure was really lost at all. I know this is a massive room and maybe not the greatest example, but the Firelocks certainly close faster than I've seen it close before, and this is a massive boon to engineers. AI spiders will now leave cobwebs behind, and this is nice because it makes them just a little bit more like environmentally like thematic. If there's spiders that are unclaimed by players, everything on the ground would end up becoming covered in webs. It also makes it a little bit harder to fight them, and also makes it so you can't instantly distinguish the difference between an AI spider and a player, other than, well, obviously they're going to mindlessly run at you like an AI anyway, but still cool to see. All bottles now have in-hand sprites, so anything from a beer to a bottle of vermouth, it now has proper in-hand sprites, perfect for all people drinking straight from the bottle, trying to drown out their sorrows, to a bartender over-serving somebody for the 100th time. New lighters can be found on the station, things ranging from Spider Clan lighters with awesome-looking sprites and creepy green glow to Discount Dan's lighters. You even find gambling boxes to find separate companies such as Introdyne Flippos. This adds a lot of character to lighters, lets people roleplay their favorite companies. There's going to be syndicate lighters and stuff that you can find. Either way, just really cool thematically. And wow, Discount Dan's lighters are definitely discount. That was... How did it run out of feel already? It's crazy. Artifact glue is a new reagent that can be made by combining artifactium and space glue together. What this does is it allows you to restore the durability of a node on an artifact. So if I just splash some glue onto the artifact, it'll just give you the usual spill message. But if we re-examine its nodes, it seems like every 5 units will give it 1 durability back. So in this case, if you have enough artifactium and artifactium to make artifact glue, you could theoretically print infinite money. I'm sure that the space economy will not be too bothered by this. Jump boots are a new tier 1 tech, and they don't require any batteries or anything. They give you an action that, when used, will make you jump a short distance in whatever direction you are currently moving. And yes, this can be used across gaps of anything from just water on the ground to avoid slipping, to entire chasms of lava with no threat to your own body. I can see people using this in combat getting pretty crazy. Imagine using this to like chase up to somebody and stun baton them. I expect to see this used more so for combat than anyone actually using it to traverse gaps. And last but not least, when Anomaly super crit, they will now have new audio to give off that they are indeed super critting. And it is utterly terrifying, and probably a sign to stop messing with things beyond your comprehension. I want to thank our maintainers and contributors for all their hard work, and of course, thank you for watching.